So thank you once again for joining us today. I am Sinman and I'm from the Smart Nation and Digital Government Office. Smart Nation Together is an online channel that's developed to introduce our community to basic tech skills and knowledge, and also introduce digital upskilling opportunities for the community. This afternoon, we present to you our My Savvy Kaki series, where we share with you various digital government services and digital lifestyle platforms available, where you can use it for work or play. So today's session is part of our Cybersecurity Month, and we will learn from the great people at Cybersecurity Agency of Singapore, CSA, on how we can practice good cyber hygiene to stay safe online. In this session, please look out for cyber tips, such as how to secure your online accounts and protect yourself from cyber criminals. So we are very happy to have with us today, Ewan, Vera, and Xiaohui from CSA today. So Ewan, over to you, please.
Thank you, Siman. Let me share my screen. Okay, let's watch a short video first.
Hey, Michelle, look. I won something from the bank. So lucky.
Oh, Daddy, your phone.
Can we say who is this for?
Oh, okay. What's your passcode?
1, 2, 3, 4.
What?
What? Is it wrong?
No, I mean, is that your email password as well?
Of course no. Slightly longer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Daddy, you can't do that.
Why not? It is easier for me to remember.
It's also easier for people to hack your accounts. Okay, just imagine this. You are leaving the house to buy fish for dinner. You close the gate and then you lock the gate with a flimsy lock.
No, why would I do that?
Exactly. Having a weak password is like having a weak door lock. You're just making it easy for people to just enter your accounts.
Then how?
Use a stronger password.
The complicated passwords are so hard to remember.
Perhaps you should use a passphrase then.
Passphrase?
It's a password that's a phrase of 5 words or more. For example, I like Bedok 85 best fish. Nowadays, many people have started using passphrases because it's easier to remember and harder to guess.
Oh, that sounds easy to remember. I will change my password.
Don't forget to also activate your 2FA, like using your fingerprint or keying in an OTP to access your accounts. It provides another layer of protection in case someone else got your password.
Oh, okay. Hey, Michelle, look. I won something from the bank. So lucky. Better click to claim and provide my info. Otherwise, the rewards expires.
Daddy, wait. Do you even know what contest you won?
No, I don't know. I don't really remember taking part in any of these contests. Maybe it's the bank's lucky draw for their customers.
Daddy, it's a phishing scam.
Phishing? How do they know I love phishing?
No, Daddy, not that kind of phishing. Look, the sender might be the name of the bank, but just click on it and look at that suspicious email address. Also, what kind of bank tells you to click here to claim your reward of $1,000 now, or the reward expires in 24 hours? Okay, Daddy, back to you on your way to buy the fish. While you're on your way, a man dressed in office wear approaches you and tells you he's from the bank and wants to give you some money. But he needs your credit card details and IC number immediately. Otherwise, you will not receive the cash. So you just give it to him and wave bye-bye.
Why would I do that?
You were just about to do it over email, giving away your personal and financial information freely.
Oh.
When you receive an unexpected email or SMS requesting your personal information to claim a prize, or those threatening to freeze your bank account, don't be too hasty to respond. Always look out for any signs of phishing and verify with the sender, in this case, the bank, with a phone call. But don't use the contact details in the suspected email or SMS. Now, these scams can also happen over other social media apps like WhatsApp and WeChat, or even calls. Sometimes they come with suspicious links or attachments. And once you click on them, your device could be infected with malware that can steal your data.
So serious?
Yes. So if you're unsure, always check with us first.
Okay. Oh, there are so many things to be careful of online.
Yes, but don't worry. I picked up this cybersecurity handbook for you where you can find more cyber and scam prevention tips.
Oh, this is useful.
Yeah, I hope you learned something today.
Yeah, I need to go Bedok 85 best page.
Yeah, that can be passphrase. Great.
No, all these fishy business make me remember. I really need to go Bedok Market buy fish so that I can cook your favorite steamed fish for dinner. Our girl likes steamed fish. It's also a good fast pace. This fishing business. No, all this fishy business make me remember to go. All this fishy business make me remember I need to go Bedok Market. No, all this fishy business make me remember to go to Bedok Market to buy fish. No, all this fishy business make me remember I really need to go Bedok Market buy fish.
I'm sorry, give me some time. Let me toggle back to my slide. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. We hope you enjoyed the short video of celebrity Michelle Chong sharing about how to stay safe online with his father. I'm Ewoon from the Cybersecurity Agency of Singapore, and I'll be the presenter for this session on the basics of staying safe online. Before I begin, let me share some background of what CSA does. CSA was established in 2015 to keep Singapore's cyberspace safe and secure. We oversee national cybersecurity and work with other relevant government agencies to protect the information infrastructure of critical sectors in Singapore, such as transport, banking, and infocom. We also engage with stakeholders on areas such as raising cybersecurity awareness, building a vibrant ecosystem, and pursuing international partnerships. So these are the topics that I will be covering. We hope by the end of this session, you would understand how you can secure your accounts, avoid falling prey to phishing, as well as protect your devices from malware. At the end of the session, there will also be a Q&A session. So if you have any questions during the presentation, do feel free to type it in the chat. Before we talk about staying safe online, we need to firstly understand what is cybersecurity and why is it important to us. Cybersecurity is basically protecting our internet-connected devices and systems from cyber incidents. In other words, from being attacked. So why is it important? Because cyber threats are very real and closer to us than most of us think. For example, the recent OCBC phishing scams, QR code phishing scams involving SingPass, and also the rising number of reports globally involving scammers taking advantage of the ongoing conflict in Russia and Ukraine to trick people with phishing emails. Nowadays, a lot of time is spent online, and many transactions that could only be done physically in the past, such as transferring money, has moved online into the cyberspace. So it is important that we take the necessary steps to protect ourselves from being a victim of cyber attacks. Minister for Communications and Information, Mrs. Josephine Teo, has also highlighted in her Facebook post that every Singaporean has a part to play in cyber defense. Like what the man in green said, smartphones and internet-connected devices indeed makes life much easier, but also a lot scarier. But it's okay. This is why you're here today, right? You're here to learn how you can protect yourselves while enjoying the benefits of these devices. So how do we protect ourselves with our internet-connected device? First is to use a strong password, and second is to enable the two-factor authentication, which is known as 2FA. I will talk about these two in details later. Sorry. Here are some examples of how weak passwords can result in information being accessed by cyber criminals. You may have read the news regarding home cameras in Singapore being hacked. The hacking of such cameras is usually made possible due to poor passwords. Also, many of the hacking-related breaches were due to stolen or weak passwords, and many people are not even aware of how risky it is to have weak and easily guessed passwords. In the example on the right, a man who took an interest in a woman from university had hacked her boyfriend's email account. He could guess the victim's password as it was a combination of his name and birthday, which could be found from his email address and Facebook account. Here are some examples of why we should enable 2FA. For instance, there are cases of hackers hijacking WhatsApp accounts used through voicemails. By enabling 2FA and setting up unique PIN for our account, we can safeguard our WhatsApp account and avoid becoming a victim of cyber criminals. Also, if we do not secure our social media accounts, cyber criminals may hack into our accounts and use them to contact our friends and attempt to trick them by posing as us. Now you have understood the importance of securing your account. Let's see how we can create a strong password. A password is strong if it is unique to you and no one else would know. It should at least have 12 characters with a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols. So you will be asking, how can I remember such a long password with so many criteria? Don't worry, it's actually very simple. You just have to use words that relate to a memory to form a phrase. Think of something that you will probably do every day or an occasion that is memorable to you. For example, like what you see in the slide now, I had kaya toast at 8 a.m. Some of you might be also thinking, okay, I need a password that is unique to me. Okay, my name, my NRIC, or birth date. But you are totally wrong. These are the information that we should avoid in our passwords because it can be easily guessed or obtained. You should also avoid common phrases and obvious patterns like capitalizing the first letter or adding consecutive numbers like 1, 2, 3 to the end of an easily guessable password. Lastly, you should also avoid using the same password for all accounts. Although it is easy to remember, but you wouldn't want to risk all your accounts being attacked if the hacker gets your one and only passwords. So are you able to identify a strong password now? Based on a survey done by CSA in 2020, only 56% of respondents could identify a strong password. These passwords that you see on the slides now are the most common passwords used in 2021, and they can all be easily cracked. I hope you are not using any of these, but if you were previously, do change them to a strong password because the shorter and less complex your password is, the quicker it is for cyber criminals to guess it and hack into your accounts. Now let's watch a video to recap how we can create a strong password.
Password 1, 2, 3. But I typed in the correct password. Oh, could it be ABC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Someone's logged into my account. I've been hacked. So how do you prevent your online accounts from getting hacked like this? You see, there are cyber criminals out there who want to hack into your online accounts to steal your personal and financial information. So a weak password like this just makes it easier for them. In fact, a cyber criminal can crack this password in seconds, and they may even use your accounts and pretend to be you so that they can scam your family and friends. You wouldn't use a weak door lock to keep your home safe. So why use weak passwords for your online accounts? Here's how you can create passwords that are strong and yet easy to remember and add extra security to your online accounts. First, think of a phrase, 5 or more words, something related to a memory you would know. Remember to avoid information that cyber criminals can easily obtain, guess, or may already know, such as your child's name or your birthday, those sorts of things. And make sure it's at least 12 characters. It can still be stronger. To make your password even harder to crack, add uppercase and lowercase letters, numbers, and even throw in a symbol or two. Now that's much stronger. Next, protect your account further by adding another layer of security. We call this TwoFactor Authentication, or 2FA. With 2FA, there are 2 types of information required, which helps to verify your identity. With the first factor being your password. The second factor is usually a one-time password you get through an SMS or a physical token. It can also be your fingerprint. Now, enabling this extra layer of security might seem troublesome, but activating 2FA means that Even if a cyber criminal manages to crack your password, he still won't be able to access your account. This is because he wouldn't have that second factor, which is your one-time password and your fingerprint. 2FA is readily available for many of your online accounts, including email and social media. It can be easily set up for Facebook like this. And you can also activate 2FA for your WhatsApp by doing this. So do remember to enable it wherever it's available. What else can you do to protect your accounts? Here are some good practices. Always have different passwords for each of your online accounts. This is so that if the password for one of your accounts gets compromised, the other accounts will remain unaffected. Also, never write your passwords down and leave it out where anyone can see it. And if you find it difficult to create strong passwords and remembering all of them, an alternative would be to use a password manager. Remember to use a password manager with 2FA support. And don't share your passwords or OTP with anyone who asks for it. It could be a scam. Now, in case you're wondering how you can check if your password is strong enough, you can test it right here at this URL. In my password, for example, this will take cyber criminals about 212 million years to crack. So be sure to use strong passwords and enable 2FA. Because it's always better to be cyber safe than sorry.
Okay, so now it's time for a quiz. Which of these is the strongest password? Now, please key in your answer in the poll that you have seen now. Okay, I see quite a lot on the second option, which is the soccer every Thursday at 9 p.m. Is still the most one. Maybe let's give a few more seconds before we reveal the answer. Okay, yeah. So majority of you actually got it correct. The answer is the second one. So a strong password is long and random and has more than 12 characters. We should avoid obvious pattern like the one in option 4. Then for option 5, it is less than 12 characters and very challenging to remember such a random gibberish password. So are you confident in creating a strong password? We have a password checker that you can use to check the strength of your password. You can scan the QR code to check how long it takes to crack your password. By the way, please do not enter your real password, as this is meant for educational purposes to help you understand what a strong password is. In our past engagement sessions with participants like yourself, some have actually asked us, what is a password manager? We strongly recommend using passphrase to remember passwords. However, the use of a password manager is an alternative to help you with your passwords. It stores your login details and help you fill in automatically without having to remember the passwords. The only password that you need to remember will be the master password. For those who are keen to try out password managers, there are some common examples in the box on the right. Do note that these are non-exhaustive and CSA doesn't endorse any of these. Moving on, let's talk about two-factor authentication. 2FA is a method that uses two types of information to identify the user of an account. This is to ensure that the person accessing the account is its rightful owner. It is made up of something you know, which is your password, and something you have, which can be a one-time password, or even something you are, such as your fingerprint or facial recognition. With 2FA, even if a hacker is able to guess your password, the account is still protected if he is unable to get hold of the other factors for authentication. Give you an example. In order to transfer money online, I will have to log into my internet banking using my password. Once I log in, before I can perform the transaction completely, I will receive a 6-digit OTP that I need to key in to authenticate that I am really indeed transferring the money. So in this case, if a hacker tries to pretend to be me, he won't be able to complete the transaction because he won't have the OTP. This is how TwoFactor helps to protect your account. Now, let's watch a video to show us how to enable 2FA on WhatsApp. Sorry. The 2FA feature is widely available, and you can find it in internet banking, Facebook, WhatsApp, emails, government accounts, and even shopping sites. Due to time constraint, we won't go through the steps to enable 2FA on all social medias and email accounts. These are some of the instructions to enable 2FA. I'll give you some time to scan the QR codes. Okay, let's move on. Okay, moving on, I will touch on what you can do if you suspect that your internet account has been hacked. Firstly, if you are still able to access your account, log out of the account from all devices. Change the password immediately and enable 2FA if available or if you have not done so. But if you are unable to access your account, contact the account platform, example, your bank or social media platform, to report the issue and ask them for assistance to retrieve your account. In the event if there are unauthorized charges made to your credit card or debit card, report these transactions to your bank and cancel the card immediately. You can also file a police report at any neighborhood police station or online via the link provided on this slide. If your social media account has been compromised, you may want to warn your family and friends, as attackers may assume your identity to seek personal information from them. Next, I'll talk about phishing. So what is phishing? It is a method used to fraudulently obtain personal and financial information, such as login details, bank account numbers, credit card numbers. Cyber criminals often disguise themselves as an individual or reputable organization with the aim to obtain your personal information so that they could gain access to your online accounts and even pretend to be you to scam your contacts. Therefore, it is very important for you to protect your personal information so that cyber criminals would not have the chance to conduct scams. We do have another upcoming webinar that teaches you how to not fall prey for phishing and scams. It will be on the 25th April. The QR code to sign up will be shared at the end of this session. So do sign up if you wish to learn more. Okay, did any of you receive any similar text before? Hopefully you didn't click on the link that is inside. Let's find out what could happen when you click on a suspicious link in a phishing email like this. As you can see on the slide, the victim's view is on the left side, which we can see that the website design is very similar to the official iBanking. The hacker's view is on the right. So when the victim enters the fake internet banking, the website requests the victim to change his or her iBanking user ID and password. So you can see they are keying in the old password and the new password. So once the victim clicks on the submit button, the fake iBanking website will capture and send the information over to the criminal via email, which is on the right side. So we can see the victim's user ID and passcode in the email, which is exactly what they have keyed in the fake iBanking website. So with this information, the criminal proceeds to log on into the victim's iBanking via the official iBanking website. So this is exactly what was being keyed in the left side earlier. But you know, bank always have two-factor authentication. So in this case, the bank sends an OTP to the victim via email. So on the victim's view on the left, the fake iBanking website also direct the victims to a fake OTP page where the victims enter the OTP and clicks on submit. So here, copy and paste it into the iBanking website, which is the fake one. Once it's submitted, the same OTP will be sent to the hacker via email. So now the hacker has the OTP as well. So with this information, he is able to successfully enter the victim's iBanking account, and the account has been compromised. So how do we protect ourselves against phishing? Across phishing cases, there are 6 common signs to look out for. Firstly, watch out for mismatched and misleading information. Scammers will attempt to mislead us into believing that the information we see is genuine. So we need to study the information closely. Secondly, scammers tend to try their luck by sending mass emails to a large group of people, hoping that someone would respond. So if you received an unexpected email, example, an invoice for an item that you did not purchase, delete the email and do not click on the links and attachments. Thirdly, is the use of urgent or threatening language. Scammers will try to pressure you to reply quickly with phrases such as urgent or your account will be deactivated. The purpose is to threaten or scare you into providing confidential information without giving you any time to think if this is a phishing email. Fourth, scammers tend to include attachments in emails as a method to infect your device with malware and steal data. So if you receive any attachments with suspicious names or file type, example .exe, do not open and delete the email. Fifth, they may also use fake offers of amazing deals or prizes to trick you to act immediately. For example, a phishing email or message may ask you to click on a pop-up or complete a form to get free gifts. Lastly, if you received an email or message asking for personal details like NRIC or bank account number, this is a potential sign of phishing because most organizations will never ask for your personal or financial information to be sent over via internet. So here's a video on how to spot signs of phishing. Do scan the QR code and watch it at your own time. Okay, now let's test your understanding of phishing. Can you tell which is a phishing message? The first message on the left says that your SingPass has expired and you can reactivate it using the link. But the second one is about information if you are tested positive for COVID. So anyone have any guesses on which is a phishing email, phishing message? I see a lot of people have raised hand. Maybe you can type it in the chat. Okay, I see Sui Chai say 1, Freddie 1. Okay, yeah. All of you are getting it correctly. So the phishing message is the one on the left. So in the first message, the sender is reflected as 73333, which shows that it's not from a government agency. The message claims that the recipient's SingPass has expired and needs reactivation. As SingPass is needed to access to many important services, the thought of it expire would prompt the recipient to act fast. This is what we talked about earlier about sending threatening and urgent messages. In addition, the link looks very suspicious, doesn't show where it is linking to, and it might probably be a link shortener. So for government agency, when the links are very long, we use the official link shortener, go.gov.sg, like the one shown in image 2. So if you see this link shortener, it is used by government agency and the link is safe to visit. Now you have learned about how to identify a phishing message. So you will be asking, What should you do if you received one? This is a very common question. Firstly, do not open any attachment or click on any links in the message or emails that look suspicious. Please also do not scan any QR codes, as they could also lead to phishing links and may contain malware that can infect your devices. We'll talk about malware in the following slides. Next, report to your email provider and delete the email. Do not trust links or email addresses that claims to be from the government but do not contain gov.sg in them unless you are already familiar with them. If you have received a message to follow some instructions urgently, do not panic. Call your family or friends for advice, or you can also call the anti-scam helpline. So what about if you accidentally click on a phishing link? Firstly, please change the password for your bank account immediately. If the revealed password is used on other accounts, please change them too. If you have accidentally revealed your bank details or credit card credentials, alert your bank promptly. Monitor your account for any unauthorized transactions and make a police report if there is money missing. Run a full scan with antivirus software. We will also suggest to report it to Singapore Computer Emergency Response Team, which is called SINCERT for short, under CSA, using the link here. Next, let's move on to malware. So what is malware? Malware or malicious software are programs used to compromise the security of a computer system. It can infect and/or gain access to your devices. To help you better understand malware, here are some examples of different forms of malware. Most of us would have heard of computer viruses. A virus is a program that can copy itself and spread quickly like real-life viruses. A worm is a malicious code that copies itself and makes use of the network to spread to other devices. A Trojan horse is a malicious program often disguised as a legitimate software. Users are typically tricked into running Trojans on their system. Next, ransomware is a malware that locks the file in the computer, and if you can't access these files until a ransom is paid. Adware is a program that keeps popping up unwanted ads that are difficult to close. Lastly is keylogger. Keylogger is a software or hardware that can intercept and record inputs from the keyboard. So this is why 2FA is very important, because if your device is infected with keylogger, the hackers can get your password the moment you type it on your keyboard. There are many different ways that devices can be infected with malware. For example, it may happen if you click on a malicious link or attachment in a phishing email or message. It may also happen if you download malicious apps. On the left shows a news article on the advisory issued by the police last month, advising internet users to beware of downloading content from unknown sources as they contain malware. On the right, cyber criminals took advantage of the COVID-19 pandemic and contact tracing to create fake apps which contain malware. Therefore, we must be cautious of what we download and only download apps from official sources. Next, devices may also be infected through ways like using non-secure Wi-Fi or websites. Devices that are not updated with the latest security fixes are also likely to be infected with malware. The picture on the left is an example of how we may get malware from free video streaming websites. Illegal streaming devices and websites are another potential source of malware. On the right, Microsoft warned an increase in drive-by attacks in 2019. The China News Asia article explained that these drive-by downloads took place when an unsuspecting user visits or drives by a website infected with malicious code. Cyber criminals took advantage of vulnerable or outdated apps, browsers, or even operating systems to carry out these attacks. So here are some common ways to spot signs of infection. If you spot these, there could be a possibility that your devices may be infected. Some of the most obvious signs are you can't access your system unless a ransom is paid, or you start to receive complaints from your friends saying about strange messages sent from you, Other signs that are not so obvious are bombarded with pop-up advertisements, sudden crash of systems or program, unexpected decrease in disk size, or your computer's programs and internet connections become slow. These are all signs that your devices might be infected. So now it's time for quiz again. Okay, we have 2 questions that you can see on the poll that is appearing now. Please select an option and we'll go through in a while. Okay, so the first question is, downloading attachments from unknown senders can be harmful to your devices, true or false? And the second one is, we should only download apps from the official app stores, true or false? Maybe let's give some time while you all fill out the answers and we'll go through in a while. Wow, okay, all of you are very fast. I suppose all of you are quite well versed in this. Okay. Okay, maybe we can go through the answer. Okay, for the first question, downloading attachment from unknown senders can be harmful for your devices. Okay, 98% of you actually chose true, which is correct. So the attachments may contain malware, which can allow unauthorized access for cyber criminals to steal your information. So we should only download apps from official app store. We should only download attachments if you know that they are from which sources. So the second one, we should only download apps from official app stores. 99% of you say true, yeah, which is correct. So apps from official app stores are checked by software malware filters and technical experts before being published. So the chance of getting malware infection are much lower. This is a video on how we can safeguard our devices from malware. I'll give you some time to scan the QR code so that you can watch in your own time. Okay, so how can we protect our devices from malware? First of all, download an antivirus app from official app store to protect your devices. An antivirus software is needed not only for laptops and computers, but also for mobile devices like phones and tablets. Besides that, ensure that you update your device software promptly to keep the device safe. This will fix the weak points in your devices. Instead of updating manually, you can also enable automatic updates over Wi-Fi and schedule updates to be installed overnight for convenience. You probably already have an antivirus software for your computer. But do you know that your mobile devices need an antivirus software too? As you can see in the headline on the right, it was revealed during this year's budget debate that only 40% of Singaporeans hold installed cybersecurity apps on their phones. Are you one of the 40% who installed or the majority who did not install? If you actually fall under the majority who did not install cybersecurity apps in your phone, do install an antivirus software to scan and remove malware and block unsafe websites. Some factors to consider when choosing an antivirus software includes areas like whether does it has automatic update and scanning functions? Can it remove malware? Is it user-friendly and cost-friendly? You may also want to read the user reviews before downloading. Of course, do remember to install any antivirus software from official sources in the Google Play Store or Apple App Store. Besides using antivirus software, it is also important to update your software regularly to keep your devices safe. These updates can install fixes for security vulnerabilities and bugs and protect you from cyber threats. If you do not update your devices could be more vulnerable to security threats. Therefore, it is recommended to enable automatic updates if the option is available, so that your devices can be updated automatically when there is one available. But if you're uncertain if an update is legitimate, check the software publisher or app developer's website. Lastly, we have prepared some resources that you can access for more cyber tips to protect yourselves.
Thank you so much, Ewan. We look forward to see you in our next session.